Good evening, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Cambodia Global Dialogue of Southeast Asia TV. Tonight we'll be focusing on a theme which so far, for almost, it's been almost 40 weeks already that we have the program. We have not been able to touch directly on this issue, which I think is very important for the development of this country, which is education, more specifically higher education. And today we have the pleasure to have a young professional, Puthyvuth, you're young, but you're not that young, right? Puthyvuth Sok is whole two-head. There's Soma as a Soma Group as a CEO and director. But foremost today, we'll interview him. We have a dialogue with him under his other head, which is the president of University of Puthyvuth, a new university, but quite advanced in its vision. So, Puthyvuth, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Siphana. I'm very happy to be here.
Yes, great. Well, I think before we start, maybe I ask you to say a few words about your background a bit, your education, since we talk about education, and
sure.
Why University Puthyvuth?
Okay, at the beginning, maybe I give you a bit of my background. I was born in 1980s, I think right after the war, so I did not experience the war, but I can feel it, and then through many stories from my parents and relatives, it's also one of the drives for me to pursue or to be stronger, because I think the parents and the older generation went through a lot to create what we have today. So in 1993, I think my parents kicked me out of the country, so I went to the U.S. And I went through high school and university there for almost 9 years. So there I majored in economics and business. After the U.S., I went to do my grad school in France for almost 2 years. And then work in London for almost a year with the bank.
Great.
So after that, after working in London, I came back home, and pretty much for the first 2 years, I kind of sit around and attend the meetings and follow my father around and just try to figure out what I do
with your life.
Contribute. Because the goal is to contribute in some way, because that was the original goal, to send me to have education and so come back to help. But to help is big. How do you help?
Exactly.
Are you capable of helping? You have to help yourself first before you can even help people around you. So in the first 2 years I was back, I was pretty much very not passive. I was passive and
still feeling the ground, still feeling the terrain.
Yes. I feel like a bit of a square trying to fit in a circle. But home is home, so I was very happy to be back home, and then trying to find ways to contribute. And then that's how I found what I'm found now.
But tell me a bit about University Puthyvuth, when it was started, and what sort of a curriculum, how many people you have now?
It's interesting. University Puthyvuth has a vision. I think we noticed that we can do a lot in education, because given that we have a lot of networks and a lot of people giving us advice on what would make good universities. Because from my view, a university is a reflection of the country's capabilities. So
I concur on that one.
So when you look at the university capacities, you can see what is the country's capabilities. And that's what drives us to say, okay, we need a good university. We need to bring all those expertise from abroad here without traveling with
exposure,
but without the high cost.
Exactly. It's clear.
So this is one of our drives to build a university where we can bring all the expertise here and yet keep the students, improve the quality of the students, but nevertheless, you still need to go out.
It's
something about traveling.
You mentioned a good word, which is quality. How do you what is behind quality? What do you mean by quality? Because I see a lot of university, private university popping up everywhere, but what would distinguish you from other, you know? And I'm glad you mentioned the word quality, because at the end of the day, we should push for more quality rather than quantity, which I feel, of course, I got nothing against business. When some people open a school, whatever, their primary motive sometimes is for profit rather than for education, right? But here you mentioned quality, which is important.
Yeah, thank you. I think this is a very big topic. It's a big challenge that we face every day.
Yes.
How to improve the school, because it's a never-ending process.
Yes, yes.
So when we started a university, we faced this with a simple challenge.
Yes.
How to run a university. You know, when
As simple as management. Wow.
Yes. So before you can even talk about the quality of education, you talk about management, managing a university first.
A system, you mean?
It deals with people and system.
Yes, yes.
So the people and system has to, I guess, go together.
Yes, yes.
So the people has to have the ability to use the system, and the system has to be sophisticated enough to, I guess, to do what you want.
Yes, to help the people deliver.
To help, yes, to help the people. So, facing with this simple challenge to have to run a university, I think our objective was to create a platform or environment conducive or productive toward education, which means that lecturers, when they come in, they can 100% focus on teaching and updating their knowledge. And on the student side, when they come in, they can 100% focus on learning. You know, so all the material and the resources are there for them to focus on the studies. So to create this environment is a challenge. How do you create a good environment where learning is the core functions of this environment? So we deal with management system, deal with your philosophy, deal with your
core value, maybe?
The core value, exactly. So on top of developing I guess the skill and the quality of the students, you also have to develop the core values. The values. So a core value at the school is, honor self, respect other, develop societies.
That's a good point. Speaking about develop society, perhaps this is a good way for me to link a bit your vision of having a quality education system, at least within the confine of your campus. Because at the end of the day, as a country, and you rightly said so, that a country is a reflection of its people. If we are to grow, we have to have qualified people. But it's a chicken and egg, right? To have qualified people, you have to be investing in them. And I see that ultimately the growth of the economy will reflect. But which one push, which one's pull? Right? Is that education pushing the economy to grow, or because the economy is growing, that's why it pull the education? So here I see definitely a strong linkage of what you try to do eventually 4 or 5 years down the road, having a positive effect into economic development of this country, right? What's your take on that?
I think it's a matter of looking long view and then the short view. I think these two strategy has to go together. The economic growth, it has to happen. But also at the same time, developing the capability of the students is also important. Because this deals with the sustainabilities of the countries. How far you can go really depends on how strong your people are, what are your foundations. So I believe that you have to have strong foundations for your future development. While economic growth focus on economic side, but people focus on software,
the soft side, the soft skill side
of the countries.
You have IT in curriculum? In your...
This is one of our strong points, because we believe that IT will play a major role in the future.
Well, I would say that, in the world nowadays, the trade of good, is diminishing. It's more the rise of trade of service. And I think behind the trade of service is you see this whole IT behind. It's no different than when you say that in front, you only see a few people in the running university, but nobody realized that behind there's a whole system that has to be put in place to run the university.
That's right.
Here, I think the same thing here for Cambodia to push for the next era of e-trade, e-commerce. I think it's important that we have the element, which is, I think you use iPad also. Is that one or two?
That's the old one.
Oh, it's the old one like me, so that's too bad. But anyway, iPad, it's amazing how productive.
Oh, yes.
I think talking about increasing productivity is awesome. I could not live without this, and I wonder how performing we were before the iPad.
It replaced my laptop now, so I rarely use my laptop anymore. My iPad pretty much do most of the functions that my laptop can do.
Now, on the HK side, maybe I saw like I want to take advantage also the fact that you're wearing two hats. You're also running the CEO of Soma Group, which is quite known in the country. I see more this entrepreneurial spirit, right? And this country needs that. And what make this country go, what make this country recover fast from the economic global financial crisis is probably this entrepreneurial spirit bubbling there.
I think entrepreneurial is, I think, one of the key drive. I think for our future development should be one of our major focus, because in creating opportunities. This is one of the things that we push our students as well. So we created a national businessman competitions for them to really...
National businessman competition.
Business plan, yes. So the goal is for students to set up a group and think of a potential business that they think would work. And the winner get a chance to actually implement their business. So
you can provide them a grant or something. Okay, great.
So it's every year. It's very. I mean, this is our second year running.
Is that right?
It's very exciting to see the ideas, because they know the real needs of what is on the ground, and they can propose some really creative projects about how to service those needs. So this is what business is all about. It's to serve the needs and to solve problems.
And your school can help the system, bringing the system behind. Is that what it is?
Yes. We help with, based on my experience, because when I started, I could consider myself an entrepreneur as well. I didn't have any help.
So trial and error.
I only got theoretical models on what business should be. And then I just have an idea. I should have a company, because it is company that create wealth.
Exactly.
So I feel that to do something you need a company to help. And a company is just an organization with a group of people who really set out to serve or to do something productive. So that's how I started. And then when I start the company, I think it's not as easy as registering the company's name. So you have to think about how should you run your company. So you need to think about, you need to have an accountant, you need to have an operation manager, you need to have financial. So it's a complicated thing, but you got to grab the rope and pull it bit by bit. And then when you face the problems, you have to sit down and solve it. And it focuses on team efforts, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without the team that I have. So this is another core values that we promoted at our school, is that to respect others. Because through respect, you create trust. And with trust, you create strong team.
Puthyvuth, I have to share with you a few of my own personal, because for me, I has always been a teacher. I mean, most people call me Lucru, right? And since I came back in '93, I has always volunteered religiously to teach one course a semester, right? Even irrespective of where I am, right? So I always try to impart this experience I had, not as a professional teacher. But my experience 6 months ago, I was asked to help teach a special class of businessmen.
Okay.
And, successful businessmen in their own right, I mean, to be fair to them. And one thing I find is that the craving for theoretical understanding.
Yes.
Because many of them, because they're entrepreneur, they made money from doing business, but they really didn't know why they were successful.
Yes.
The financial crisis was a major alarm
Yes.
to wake them up, because the crisis kicks in and they were caught off guard because they didn't know what happened.
Yes.
They made it, they didn't know why. They lost it, they didn't know why.
Yes.
So my class, we have a very good, about 20. Half of them are Oknya, but young.
Yes.
And this is the thing that give me a lot of warmth, in the sense that they are humble enough, irrespective of the money they made as an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
To say, look, either I change my paradigm, way of doing business, do the right way, the best practice, the international, the regional. How do I deal in a corporate setting? And that's the buzzword, the corporate setting. They change your mind from being an entrepreneur, running like mom and pop, father-in-law, son-in-law, into a corporate setting. You're CEO, what's your responsibility? You're president, what? Not that you're president, you can do anything you want.
That's right.
Because they are role, right? And this is something that I see a shift of the new Cambodia.
Yes.
A Cambodia from just entrepreneur. Of course, you have to start from nothing first, right?
Yeah.
You got to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
From entrepreneur, the next step you have to move to corporate thinking.
Yes.
And I hope your school have this maybe if you already have, it's great, but if not, maybe it's something you should sort of like specialized course, how to become a CEO, what is it to be a CFO?
Yeah.
What is it to be a chairman of the board?
Yeah.
What is it to be a member of the board,
Yeah.
This will help shape the future of this country.
Yeah.
Because I think as Cambodia open up our economy, you'll find that more foreign investors will come.
Yeah.
Whether American, Australian, Singapore, Malaysian, or Thai, doesn't matter.
Yes.
We have to be able to have our own corporate Cambodian to be a solid joint venture, not just their big company, we're entrepreneur, I give you 20%, I'm so happy I got the 20%. No, these are something that I see the need for school like you to push.
Yes, I think this is what we been driving or trying to push our students to think, because to be able to think as an entrepreneur, you need to be well aware and well connected of what's going on around you and globally.
Yes.
So then you know where the needs are and what are the opportunities and what are the latest trends in that industry, so that you can plan ahead. You can invest in the future, so that entrepreneurial is like that. You can move faster than an existing company, because they use a legacy system. Entrepreneur can have a chance to use a new system, which gives them a competitive edge. This is one of the good things about being, entrepreneur, is you can move fast. But more than that, I think entrepreneur nowadays, they need to be focused more than just money.
Yes.
They need to have a value. They need to think about global issues. They need to think about sustainable development.
Exactly.
So this is to add on top of what was
corporate social responsibility.
Corporate social responsibility.
Part of it,
Exactly. Because I believe that the new way of doing things is to consider all stakeholders. Not just purely for profit or something like that. So, but thinking in that line, I think, actually makes things better than the old model, of which is thinking about money. But to think in a global perspective, to think in a more, because it forces you to be more innovative. When you're more innovative, you can create things that people can't copy.
Exactly. We're coming to the end of the show soon, but I want to see a bit your vision. 5 years down the road, if I run to you in this coffee shop, which we have plenty in town now, what would you happily say to me? Boo, remember 5 years ago we met?
I think one of our goals is, we want to push on industrial attachments for our students to link to jobs.
Yes.
So employment, creating employment. So I think it would be consider a success for our school in the next 5 or 10 years to see most of our graduates have a good position in the company.
Yes.
Or in organizations that they work for, and drive and be one of the major, the drive of our country's development.
Yes.
And maybe in the alumni ceremony, we can invite you to be a guest speaker and talk to the
and talk to the student.
Yes. Yes.
But Puthyvuth, reason I sort of like provoke this 5-year forward is that whether we are ready or not, whether we are aware or not, this country, Cambodia, will be part of the ASEAN economic community.
I agree, yeah.
In 2015, which is not far away, which is only 4 years away, whether we like it or not, whether we know or not, whether we are aware or not, I don't really care. Cambodia will be in this ASEAN economic community. What does it mean? It means a free flow of labor.
Yes.
Our ASEAN neighbor will come. Now we have Cambodian flag and ASEAN flag, and so is Thailand. Thailand flag and ASEAN flag, Vietnam, Malaysia. There'll be an exchange. There'll be influx, outflow of labor. Now, to me, the challenge is that when we have new hotel opening up, and then we have Thai or Vietnamese or Malaysian or Singaporean national to run the food and beverage service, right? Because they qualify, they come, they apply, and Sofitel or Intercon take them. Yes. Now, the challenge is that where and how do we help our Cambodian, to go to Langkawi, to go to Phuket, to go to Koh Samui, to say, look, I am as much qualified to apply for a food and beverage supervisor job in those 5-star hotels. So the trick is, yes, free flow labor, but what sort of job do we want the Cambodian to be? Worker, management, supervisory. This, to me, the challenge of our education system. How can we get our education system to support that? Right? So the challenge is for you as a person, as an entrepreneur who sees education, but also a challenge for you as a president of a university, but also from my perspective, the challenge for us as Cambodia to be a part of this ASEAN economic community, a worthy one, a respectable one, And that's the only way we will have the respect of the ASEAN elder founding member, which is, much more advanced, right? Your last word.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much for having me here at the show. And I believe that Cambodia is on the right track. I think if you look at our history till now, this is one of the best times for our countries to develop. So it's really up to the newer generations to really seriously think about how to contribute to our country during this very good time.
Yes.
Because if we don't develop, this time will not last forever.
Yes, exactly.
So that means time is also at an essence.
Yes.
So we need to really put our heads together, and we can expect change will come. But so we need to be prepared, and the best way to be prepared is to learn as fast as you can.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Good. Well, Puthyvuth, again, I want to say thank you for you coming to share a perspective from a Cambodian, Cambodian-born, educated, exposed, and now you are in a position to influence, your society, contribute to the society, be a good role model for other young Cambodians, and this is something that I'm very proud to have you on my show. And I hope that our short discussion here sort of send a signal of hope, of positive thinking, that we can do it, and it's a matter of putting an effort and together, sharing the same vision. And again, how do we strengthen our bond so that our society will be much better off in the future? So again, I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as always, 30 minutes very fast, but I'm glad we touched on this important subject of education. I think it's important that our Cambodian, are more qualified, more prepared to enter the workforce, to enter the workforce not just as a labor, but in a position of management, in a position where you command some respect. But there's another element that I think, I would like to invite the other speaker in the future to come to speak on another education related, but much more at the grassroots, much more at the core of the future development of this country, which is vocational training, vocational skill. This will combine what Puthyvuth discussed today on higher education, but then higher education, you need also the micro, the meso level education. The two combined, I think will give all the elements necessary for our society to take off. So once again, thank you, and I'll see you next week. Good night.